Someone's at your front door.
Y'all, welcome back to another episode of Riding with Goats. I'm your man, OMG, that's right, Old Man Goat. Give me some of that fist bump and all of that. How y'all been doing? Hope the new year's treating you well. It's been pretty cold here in Tennessee, but we're going to go ahead and do this anyway. I can get out of the new controller. I think we want to know exactly how fast it's going to go and whether this upgraded controller is actually upgraded, right? Because we have a setting on here that is max torque, but we don't seem to get any torque. So we'll take it out today, even though it's around 46 degrees. It's a little bit on the chilly side. Let me pull off this drink. It's a little bit windy. I hope you guys can hear me through that. But again, we're going to get all dressed up and ready to go in 40-degree weather. We'll go out. We'll try to get a top speed test. That way we know 100% right now, stock controller, cold part of the year, so it's not the summer. We won't be dealing with any kind of overheating in the motor. But we do want to be able to see what kind of range we can get with the current stock controller. We want to see if we're still dealing with the horn issue, see if the lighting issue is still an issue. We'll just see exactly what it is and how it goes as the current stock king. And then you guys can let me know in the comments whether or not you want to see me actually change out the controller. But I think for now, let's just go ahead and get suited up. We'll tighten down everything, get our safety gear on, and let's ride. We're not going to be able to get an accurate speed test. I mean, I'm going to get it out somewhere, and I'm going to get it up maxed out as safely as I possibly can. And again, this is East Tennessee, so this is not an area where you find a lot of flat level area for a distance long enough that's safe for a bicycle, because we have pedals. Right, so and if you remember from our last video, we got that flat, so this is the first real ride since we had the flat. So we still got to be safe out here. Let's go over here. We want to get a little bit of this footage. Of course, we live around this park, and you know, the thing about that is there was this house right behind the tennis courts, which have quite honestly become pickleball courts, because you know, it's pickled more often than there's tennis players there. So yeah, we're gonna come over here again. They're pickled up like crazy over here on the courts today, everybody. But yeah, there used to be a house right here, and as you can see, it is gone, 100% gone. They tore up not only that, but they tore up the driveway. And it's so muddy that we are not riding in there. We are not. Every day. All right. Yeah, so it is a very deceiving day here in East Tennessee. We got some sunshine, we got some beautiful clouds, y'all. Come on down. All right, everything feels okay. Again, this is the first ride since I got the flat tire fixed. And, you know, I'm not like an e-bike mechanic, but I did it, I guess. But I guess I'm checking my work now, so we'll see. Hopefully I did okay of a job. It's very windy today. We may not get much good audio at higher speeds. Go ahead and do this real quick. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go over here and we'll talk about something else when it comes to the king goats that I've been asked. Anyway, we are currently on 96%, so pretty much full battery. We got good pull, but again, as you can see, I'm going faster than 19. But when I let off is when it becomes more accurate, right? So again, it's been what has been kind of the main frustration, if you will, when it comes to the king goat. You know, especially at what it's going to get compared to in the market. And I got the sniffle still. Saw in that last video, wasn't really the best. My bad, y'all. You know, I haven't been feeling well. Starting to feel good now. Starting to feel well now, but now the missus has it. It is so windy, y'all. Well, that wind is brisk, let me tell you. We are really putting the old man's resilience to the test today. But like here, I'm accelerating full throttle and it's still at 0 watts. If I let off, it still doesn't say anything, right? So again, I don't think we're going to really get a very accurate top speed because of what we're dealing with, right? And now looks like I still got lights, so that part of it's good. But there have been moments, like pretty much every ride, where I don't have any lights except running lights. And some mornings, if you check video way back, you may have to watch a couple of them. Go ahead and do that. But you'll see one where I didn't have any of my lights. And this guy almost pulled out in front of me. And that would have been a disaster first thing in the morning, right? It's definitely not what I would have wanted to deal with first thing in the morning. We're gonna address one of the other questions that I've been asked about the king goat from Goat Power Bikes. One of the questions I've been asked is, how easy is it to pedal? And I will say, honestly, compared to the motor goat, this one does not pedal as well. It just seems like you would not want to pedal. So when you have a scenario where they're basically expecting most people to not be pedaling the bicycle, then I guess the comfort of pedaling is not something that is addressed. And now they do sell smaller cranks, as you saw in the beginning of the vid here. I got some. I think I got they're 5 inches long, so I believe those were the 127s maybe. I'm not quite sure, Man, that was a nice putt. Way to go. But yeah, we got those, and we're gonna switch those out, because even now, not just because of the fact that I have all of this bulky clothing on, and I have the drinks, I have the batteries, I have all of the stuff that I have on me right now. So the very last thing that I need is to be pedaling. But in an effort to show you, I don't really think it has much to do with the faux battery tank that we have here. It's really just more of your knees and your chest, and I'm just 5'9". So with that being said, I'm not like a really tall guy. So I thought that this one would pedal more like the Motor Goat. Motor Goat, that was my baby. That was just really the best pedaling bike that I've ever pedaled. Just the way that you sat. Not to mention, this one here could use handlebars that are a little taller. I think that would get us in a much more friendly position where we're riding up here instead of so far forward, which also gets you more hunched down onto the bike, which makes you feel like, so again, all that blah 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 yeah, my bad. All of that was leading up to the fact that, yeah, we got smaller pedal cranks, and with the smaller pedal cranks, we're going to be able to hopefully, because these that are on the Goat power bikes, I believe, are about 7 inches from hole to hole, and the ones we got is like 5 inches. So yeah, that's only a couple of inches, and you know, it may not matter, but a couple of inches matters.
What did he say?
All right, so here we go. We're going to take this little side path over here to the road that would most likely have our best option of getting a high-speed test. And then we will again we will come back once everything is done, switching over the controllers, and we will compare to see if the controller is truly upgraded, or if it just has more torque off the line. It doesn't really hit 65, 70 miles an hour. I've had it up to 60 miles an hour at this point, and that was the most accurate reading I could get before all of these issues started occurring with the lighting and all of that. And that's really it all of a sudden started. It hasn't always been like this. It just started acting like this, right? So at this point, we'll just ride the sidewalk for now, just to see what we can, how busy the road is right now. There's a stretch right up here. We'll be still sitting on, you know, probably around 95%. So we should be getting a good reading of what the actual high speed is on the stock version of the controller on the Goat Power Bikes King Goat version 1, right? So that's another thing to take into consideration. You know, this is version 1 as opposed to the Motor Goat. It was version 3, right? So the kinks had been worked out, I guess you could say, right? This is the way we used to go to work back in the day, back when that deer almost took us out. Yeah, I'm not playing around here. A deer almost took me out. Just scroll through my vids, you'll see one that says "oh dear." It's in there. check it out. Hit that sub, hit that like. Subscribe, like, share. You know the yada, yada, yada. What everybody on YouTube says. Ditto. Whoa, that was like a big ramp. Holy hell, I'm glad I saw that. That was almost as bad as the deer. If I wouldn't have saw that, we would have just died. Not died. It wouldn't have been a death. But man, that wouldn't have been a good way to start this video when it comes to high-speed testing. I just feel again like, okay, I just feel kind of like it's draining the battery fast. I don't have any extra lights on. I haven't been going extremely fast. You know what I'm saying? Haven't been pegging it at full throttle at all. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're all the way over here on Western Avenue, Knoxville, Tennessee, so we're not really anywhere, you know, that close to home. I did, again, use back roads, so it hasn't been that far since we were, so we're gonna stop up here at the Waggle, and we are going to get us a little drink, and then we'll head on up here to the racetrack. Always throw your trash away, folks. All right. Supposed to be riding, not stopping. Let's go. Go while we can go. We can go. See, this is East Tennessee, so you know, it's really hard to find a lot of flat area that's safe, that keeps me away from the traffic and everybody else around. But the problem I think we're going to have, again, ultimately, is we are going to run into, excuse me, we are going to run into an issue. Alright, so as you can see, this is East Tennessee. This is not a flat area, but we'll go down, see what we can get, and then come back, and it'll be a little more downhill, so we'll get, you know, a little bit more of a NOS button naturally. We've got this K&M shock here on the back, and we're trying to figure out how to make it look like a NOS tank. Let me know in the comments if you know how to make it look like a NOS tank. I just missed the light, y'all. Now back here in olden days with the Motor Go V3, 45 was about the high speed that we got. I'm gonna put my visor down just to keep from getting my face shaft up. I got it fully tagged now, 8,000 watts. We're probably only going, you know, about 43 because of the uphill and the wind, I would say. That's nothing but 30. I know I'm not going 30, guys. I know I'm not. Windy though, it's kind of putting me all over the place. It says 39. That's pretty bad. Because the Motor Go V3, it definitely went faster than that up this hill. Hear the horn? I heard it. Just random horn. You saw my hand did not touch the horn. And I know that we're going faster than that. But we'll get a little downhill push here. But the wind is probably going to affect this tremendously. Right? See, now we're getting a 0. I hope the controller fixes that issue. It's a very important issue to know. How fast am I really going right now? Right? See, that's full throttle. Full throttle. Only getting 6150 for some reason. And this is a very important thing that you really need to know how fast you're going, because right now the speed limit on this road is 45. If I'm not going 45, I really need to be on the sidewalk or in the bicycle lane. As you can see, the bicycle lane is littered with all sorts of debris. So the very last thing that I'm going to do is get into that lane. Now it says we have 8,000 watts. With that being said, we're going to put the visor down. We're going to lean down a little. We have no idea how fast it's going. It feels like the bicycle is maxed out speed-wise. Just can't remember where that big ass bump is at. But again, I have no idea how fast I'm going. My speedometer's not working. I'm not going 18, I know that. Right? Bro. Alright, so it's very windy today, for real. I mean, it's blowing me all over the place. We're not going to be able to get much better than what we got. And as you see, folks, 0 miles an hour, right? So 0 miles an hour is how fast we're going right now. We're sitting on 74% just after all of that high-speed shenanigans. I want to call it that. We don't know if it's high-speed shenanigans or not because we don't have any idea how fast we're going. So again, we really, really hope that the new controller fixes that. So I would say by the feel of it, at one point we probably got up to about 58 miles an hour. That's just given the way that it has felt before going down that road on the MotorGo V3, which is a similar bike, just slightly lighter weight. Alright, so right now we're just kind of dipping in and out here, seeing what's up. I mean, we've got range, so it's 120. We got time, we got a full body armor. We might as well go ahead and see how much range we can get out of it. And there, you know, again, when it comes to one of the questions that was asked is how easy is it to pedal? It is not easy to pedal. You have to really know your pedal. All right. Oh, Tesla. We're doing the range thing right now. We're trying to avoid. Man, that dude got right. People, drop the crazy. All right. We're in sport mode. Sure that we're in the right mode before we think that we're in that mode, and we're not. But we're gonna see how much range we can get. Again, we don't really have accuracies on anything though, because there's just not really anything to, I mean, it's just the dash isn't working. The horn goes off every now and then just to go off. So just get out here and try to ride it as long as we can. We're down to 70%, and we are pretty much full throttle in everything that we can do here. We're just trying to see what kind of range we have. Now, some people don't know how to obey the speed limit. We are out here today, as you can see, World's Fair Park, right over there. Just go a different way, shall we? We don't ever go this way. But again, we are here to test the range. As you see, it looks like I have my turn signal on, but I don't have my turn signal on. Turn it off. Look at that. It's saying 57%. That fast, guys. But we'll go around some different areas. Again, it's just inaccurate. It's just, if it's at 57% now and I left on a full battery, then we definitely have an issue. Oh, the roads over here are horrible. Wonder why. Cities don't usually take care of the roads in the areas where all crime happens. Alright, so we're coming around here. Let's go. That looks dope. Nice. That is, oh, you guys saw the bike go crazy. That was me. That was the wind. Another reason why I'm I'm only making the normal round today, because it is so windy. I don't know, I felt like I was in Chicago for a minute there, bro. That was just so crazy. Trying to stick to the normal route. Face is just about frozen off, but the more I talk, the warmer my face gets. So I'm just gonna be rambling, y'all. Just gonna be rambling, y'all. Alright, so here we are, World's Fair Park. There's the big golden ball in the sky. And it was reminiscent of Chicago back there. My goodness, it just blew me all over the place. Alright, so here we are. There's something going on. We'll take our normal route since the fountain is off. It doesn't look like a very carinated situation today. So we'll go ahead and activate pedal mode. Come over here. This is the fountains. You can never drive through here in the summertime, y'all. Let's go. Let's go. B-roll, baby. Don't get in the grass, but as you see, I'm just pedaling. Just a guy pedaling around town. Yeah, it's awful cold to be standing in line. What are they standing in line for? It's not an entrance. Don't know. Alright guys, here we are over at our normal area. Beautiful little World's Fair Park. That's how frozen my face is. I cannot not talk like I normally talk. My mouth is about frozen. There you can see where we were just at. It's a lot going on for a cold day in Knoxville, y'all. I don't know what all's going on. That's a nice shot. Go Knoxville. Whoa, man, you see what tree roots do? They just about made me crash, y'all. Yeah, look at that. But with this, you know, way that the reading is on the controller, I think that it's probably going to be best for us to not be trying to push the limits per se with the with King Goat. I don't really think that it's really a wise idea. We'll go this way. Oh, sorry. Yeah, plus the sun's starting to find clouds to hide behind. So with that being said, we're gonna pedal like this in front of the popo, see what he does. Nothing. Museum of Art. Let's go, museum. Oh yeah. But again, what we talk about a lot here is mountain goat life, y'all, and that's what it's like here. Just a couple of roads, one way or the other, and you end up on this big mountaintop. It's just part of mountain goat life. And if you like hanging out with these crazy old mountain goat here, we're starting a band of goats. Haha. Mama, we're starting a band. Because that's what they call a group of mountain goats. A band of goats. So, let's get the band together, y'all. I am not going to be the singer. Alright, so we came through here last time. And we came off of that high curb there. I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully in post I'll be able to show it and razzle dazzle. You know, it's a pretty high curb, and I think what happened is I already had the nail in the tire, and then when I did that it just went whoosh, and I was done for. So that being said, feels like everything got fixed just fine. We're gonna take Broadway home today, sitting on 47% battery. We have been trying to throttle almost all day, mostly full throttle, trying to see range, power, torque, all of the things that we could compare this to. Once we switch out that controller to the new controller, and then we can actually see. All right, my face is freezing, y'all. I have to put the visor down. But this is just basically in an effort to try and have some type of comparison for when we change out the controller. What's this cat doing? And basically what we'll do, I guess, is you know, we'll do the same thing. We will replicate this video completely, word for word. Haha, not word for word. But we will replicate this route when we get the other controller changed out, and see how well it performs with the new controller. And we will take the same route, and we will try to make sure that you know, we try to take the same route, ride the same way, you know, mobbing. You can see in the background, this is the new frustration in my existence. All that traffic. All that traffic. All right, that's pretty much going to be it. You heard about the speed, the dash issues, the turn signal, the honking, all of the problems that we're having, and all we can do is hope that with the controller upgrade, we will actually get an upgrade instead of it just being the same. We really don't want that to be just the same. All right, y'all, so this is pretty much going to sum up today's video. We went out and tried to get a high-speed test. We tried to get a range test. We'll be able in the next video to take the same route once we swap out the controller, and we will be able to compare. We were at 30% when we were over there complaining about the new traffic and all of the people moving in, but all the old man stuff. So we did that, and this is the end. Catch you on the next ride.